We're about to reveal a sneaky little secret that could be costing you money. With the new year, the sales tax in California, wait for it, actually went down.
Yeah, believe it or not, but you may still be paying it. A Rancho Mirage woman wrote KMIR News recently saying this: as of today, only 99% of the businesses I have frequented here in the Coachella Valley since January 1st are adhering to this lowered sales tax. Well, as you know, it's a You Ask, We Investigate reporter. Angela Monroe is all over this. She's here now with details on what could be the secret right there on your receipt. Angela.
Well, once you see this story, you're going to check your store receipts carefully. Proposition 30, a tax for schools and public safety, expired on December 31st. But it seems some people didn't get the message.
In this life, little is certain, except
death and taxes.
California's state sales tax actually went down 0.25% January 1st.
Amazing. I was expecting everything in California to go up.
Here's your breakdown per Coachella Valley City for 2017. After hearing that some businesses are still charging the old tax, we went looking for receipts. Vivian and Cindy checked theirs, and sure enough, they were charged the old 9%, not 8.75 in Palm Springs.
Felt ripped off a little, but it was only a couple cents, so not a big deal. But I was thinking of making a larger purchase, and that would have affected quite a bit more.
A little surprised, but it wasn't a huge amount, so it's not going to break the bank.
But those pennies can add up, so we checked a few more. And most people we talked to in downtown Palm Springs paid the correct amount.
We are working with small businesses to correct any issues on that. We have heard some issues, and we are working with them to correct those issues.
It's kind of like the IRS of California, collecting taxes which are dispersed to the state, counties, and cities.
The Board of Equalization puts out a special notice to all our permit holders when there's a change in tax.
Bobby Corbin owns a business in Ojai and got an email from the BOE.
You had to open it up, and then you had to track down and find your city and see what it was, and then compare it to what it was before.
If a business collects more tax than is due and doesn't refund, there could be penalties, so it could be serious. The state suggests if you are overcharged, you return to the store with a receipt.
Go back to the location of the small business and show them the receipt, say there was an extra additional charge, and you'd like that money back.
Now, I also found a tax discrepancy on one of my receipts from a McDonald's in Palm Desert. Instead of a 31-cent tax, it was a 32-cent tax, a difference in a penny, but still the old rate.
So I sat down with the McDonald's Director of Operations for Coachella Valley stores and crunched the numbers.
Looked up these tax brackets too, and from looking at this one, it looked like once again it should fall in that 31-cent bracket.
Yeah, I've got the same rate you do. I mean, I'd be happy to go back to the restaurant and look at that. I can pull up the individual transactions.
So as you can see, it's pretty confusing. Maybe that's why it's happening. David Carden says he found another tax discrepancy on a deal, this one benefiting customers.
Every time we're selling that combination of items, we're having to cover that extra almost 2 cents per transaction. So it seems like there is something that needs to be researched.
Carden says he'll be looking into it. In the meantime, he says taxes go to the state.
Everything that's collected gets reported and goes to the state of California, so there's nothing that a business in any case keeps on their own.
So you may want to check the tax to make sure there isn't a secret on your receipt.
If a consumer doesn't get their money back, I'd suggest just calling into the local BOE office.
I don't think about it as much. I guess I just assume that, things are being done correctly.
So the message is,
watch your receipts.
And this gets even more complicated depending on where you live. Voters approved a sales tax hike of 1% in Indio and La Quinta. That goes into effect in April, so you'll want to pay 8.75% there now. Bottom line, if every penny counts, count them all. Back to you.
That's right. But is it 99% of the businesses not